told y'all. This is exactly why I told y'all that I was exceptionally concerned about this specific hantavirus outbreak. The World Health Organization has confirmed that the hantavirus strain in this cruise ship outbreak is the one that is spread from human to human contact, the Andes variant. As I mentioned in my initial video, the Andes variant is the only strain of hantavirus known to be spread from human to human contact. It is a strain found in South America, specifically Argentina. This cruise ship departed from South America, specifically Argentina. The Andes variant typically only spreads from human to human when there is prolonged close contact. On a cruise ship, you have prolonged close contact. I'm Dr. Freda. I'm going to give you some more details about this Andes variant of the hantavirus, and I'll answer the question, should we be scared? Is this likely to be another big lockdown like we saw with C-19 in 2020? 3 people have passed away from suspected hantavirus. Some cases have been confirmed. And now it has been reported that a passenger who was on that cruise ship but left to go home to Switzerland, he developed symptoms. Once he was home, he got tested. And so now we have another confirmed case of hantavirus. With the genetic sequencing, it has been confirmed that the variant is the Andes variant, which can be spread from human to human contact. It is true that most are not spread from human to human contact, but this particular strand is spread from close, prolonged human to human contact. Here's the tricky part. The incubation of this hantavirus is anywhere from 1 week to 8 weeks. So just like that one Swiss man did not have symptoms, it can take weeks before you have symptoms. This is the conundrum for the people who are still on the cruise ship. Even if they're asymptomatic, it can take up to 8 weeks to know if they are truly infected or not. And the problem with hantavirus is that there is no treatment, no cure, and the fatality rate for this specific strain is up to 40%. The 70-year-old Dutch man passed away. The Dutch man's 69-year-old wife, she reportedly collapsed at a South Africa airport, and then she passed away. And here's the thing, who all did she come into contact with at the airport? Same thing with the Swiss man. With whom did he come into contact? So now, should we all be freaking out? No. The Andes variant of hantavirus is not spread as easily as COVID, and you need close, prolonged contact. If you enjoy evidence-based medical information like this is what I do. So please give me a...
Okay. This is what she do, right? Hold on. Let's get this one first.
There's been an outbreak of hantavirus on a cruise ship, and that's led to the death of some passengers. So what do we know about this virus?
What is hantavirus?
Well, hantavirus, it's named after a river in South Korea, and that word, hantavirus, really describes a sort of family of viruses. Around 20 viral species have been identified according to the World Health Organization. It's not just one infection. It's really serious, but it's also relatively rare, and it's linked to exposure to rats and mice. The risk is typically highest when someone's doing something like, for example, cleaning out a building that's had a rodent infestation.
Last time it was bats. This time it's rats. Next time which I think this is it. They're probably going to include cats, bats, rats, cats, right? Okay.
So the human cases are reported in rural settings such as forests, fields or farms where rodents are present, and that means the opportunities for exposure are greatest.
Where could this outbreak have come from?
That's a really, really important question, and the answer is we don't yet know. All the cases are linked to this cruise ship, the MV Hondias, which set sail from the very southern tip of Argentina at the very beginning of April. But the first 2 fatalities, who were a Dutch couple, they're reported to have travelled through South America before boarding the ship. Now, that's really important because it's possible that one or both of them came into contact with the virus during their travels. And one version of the virus, known as Andes virus, that's been identified as causing infection in humans in both Argentina and in Chile. So, for example, in late 2018, there was an Argentinian outbreak that was traced back to people who'd all gone to the same party. A single person with the virus led to 34 confirmed cases and 11 deaths.
How does it spread? Is it airborne?
Yeah, it is slightly airborne, so it's transmitted actually by rodents, typically rats and mice, through their dried urine and the droppings, which are then blown into the air and inhaled. That's where it is slightly airborne. So,
Okay, so now we're breathing in rat shit. You can't make this shit up, man. Okay, these people, it's all about a system of control through fear and intimidation. I keep telling you on every video, fuck it. It's about fear and intimidation. That's what it's about. It's about compliance. The New World Order was set up in 1913. Okay? With the institution of the Federal Reserve. If you go back and you do a Google research, which I don't think you'll be able to find the information since they scrubbed all the information that I found. They instituted the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned bank by the Bank of International Settlements, which is ran by the Rothschild family and the Rockefellers, okay, and other families, J.P. Morgan, all that. And then the Internal Revenue Service started in 1913. The Titanic sank in 1913. Let's see what else. I think it was in 1913, 1914. The Lusitania was attacked in 1914 because in 1914 was the year World War I started, right? They found out that the military-industrial complex, which they created because this way they get to work both sides of the fence concerning, concerning the good guys, so-called, and the bad guys, so-called, right? And by them working on both sides of the fence, meaning they're selling their weapons to both sides, right? Wasn't it Prescott Bush, which is the great grandfather of the second President Bush and the father of the first President Bush, right? Was like a lord of war, and he was like an arms dealer that sold weapons both sides of the fence. Okay, World War I, World War II, okay? Family's still doing the same shit. Sorry about the foul language, but before I go any further, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth to rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. This is Mataza Lacham. Okay. You can go Mataza Lacham. Okay. Which means pillar of bread or unleavened bread in the Lashawan Kodash Hebrew language of the Israelites. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, for the most part. You don't understand. You can't put the ancient text of a book over 3,000 to 6,000 years old, filled with information, which is a family inheritance book, okay, a history book of a specific family of people, okay, and then input yourself in it. Take those people, enslave them, scatter them, and sell them to all the different nations as slaves, and then take their place and say that you're their people, and then say the 12 tribes are European nations. Bullshit. You're trying to take ancient texts, ancient words that were written aforetime, written for our learning, to make sure that after we have been discontinued from our inheritance and our heritage as the Israelites of the Holy Bible, okay, we will be able to find our way back home again using the Bible. BIBLE. It's an acronym that stands for Basic Instruction Before Leaving Earth. Understand? And the instruction manual was for us, not for all nations, like it says in Romans chapter 9, verse 4, right? However, this video about this virus, these motherfuckers always come back to a virus, you know, but this time I believe it's going to be a little bit different. Last time was like the dress rehearsal of being able to bring about the system of control, lockdowns, all this other type of stuff. Now, since America has been under a state of national emergency since January the 20th, 2025, when Agent Orange was first inaugurated into office as Nero 47, aka the devil the Bible speaks of. Yes, we've been on a national emergency ever since. That's the reason why he's been signing executive orders all year long, remember? Right when it first started. That's all he did. From January last year, all last year until this year. Executive order, executive order, executive order. Okay, it's all about a system of control and minimizing as many rights, civil rights, legal rights, as humanly possible for you. Okay, for us. Okay, doing that deliberately and on purpose. So this way, when they institute martial law, when they institute the national emergency and send FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, into all the different neighborhoods, they can start laying people down like the ground. Let's get a biblical scripture on that right quick. Okay. Let's go over here. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. Right? And that's what happened. The Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua was pissed off at the people of the Holy Book, who are the Israelites, that he brought out with a strong hand and a mighty arm stretched out of the land of Egypt. Right? Pissed off because we continued to emulate the heathen nations by worshiping their false gods and idols wherever we were scattered to. So the Most High God decided to just cast us off for a little while. He signed the letters of divorcement from Judah and Jerusalem, okay, and scattered us forth across the four corners of the earth. Okay, that's the reason why he says in Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9, my inheritance is as unto me, is as a speckled bird, meaning that our people would look like all the different nations because they've been intermingling their seed and being raped by the heathen nations in which they've been scattered into. Right? He said that we would have the strength of a worm. And we all know the strength of a worm. Worm doesn't have any strength. You know, everything is an adversary to a worm. Okay? Everything's coming to eat it. Okay? Even an ant can beat a worm. Nothing can stop a worm from being destroyed, right? So the Most High gave us the strength of a worm, okay, to force us into compliance and to believing and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, okay? And he also stated that only a remnant of them shall return, okay? Verse 2, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Where are we going to go? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and to destroy. Now the beasts of the earth, in the eyes of the Most High God, are the heathen nations, Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations. They are the fowls and the beasts of the earth that come to devour and to destroy us as a people. Okay? Let's get another biblical scripture. Let's get Luke chapter 19. Hold on. Hold on. Verse 43. Right? Let's say AMP. Luke chapter 19, verse 43, AMP. For a time of siege is coming when your enemies will put up a barricade with pointed stakes against you and surround you with armies and hem you in on every side. Okay? That's martial law. Like it says in, okay, we'll just go get that one too. Verse 44. And they will level you to the ground. You, Jerusalem, remember Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, as it is written in 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 19. Right? And your children within you. This is what they're out to do. It is about compliance and complete control of the masses of the people. Okay? Central bank digital currency. Universal basic income is the bribe to take the digital ID. The digital ID is the microchip, the radio frequency identification NFC, near field communications microchip the size of a grain of rice to be implanted underneath your skin. It acts as a tracking device. It has your medical records. It has your financial stability concerning your job. They're going to tie everything into it. Okay, Salakia. They're going to tie everything into it. You won't be able to buy or sell, and it would be virtually impossible for you to get paid without it. This is going to force compliance. Millions of people across the United States, in order to keep the job that they do have, are going to line up to take this goddamn digital ID so they can continue on with their life of being oppressed. Okay, with extra taxes, raising of your medical benefits through your company that you work for, raising up the deductible from $59 or $180 to $1,200, $1,300. Okay, if you owe taxes, they take it out of your universal basic income for those individuals that are unemployed. You see, it's all about compliance. That's all this thing is about. It's always what it's always ever been, right? And they will not leave in you one stone on another, all because you did not come progressively to recognize from observation and personal experience the time of your visitation, when the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai was gracious toward you and offered you salvation. How does the Most High offer you salvation? Okay, let's read it over here in the KJV and then we'll move on. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, encompass thee around, and keep thee in on every side. Okay? That's martial law and forced compliance, right? And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. How do you know about the time of your visitation? When the Most High was gracious toward you and offered you salvation. Let's go find out. Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. Okay? The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. Whoa. Whoa, did you see that? I did not. Wow. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? The prophet that which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. There, we don't preach peace. Okay, let's go to Isaiah chapter 48, verse 22. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. I say it again, AMP. There is no peace for the wicked, says the Lord. Okay? So we're not preaching peace. Okay? No. Hold on. Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Right? And let's start at verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? Right? Remember, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is a spirit, and he controls the minds and hearts of men, as it is written in Job chapter 33, verses 14 through 17. There is no free will. Okay? Let's go prove it. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? Let's go down here to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yep, even the wicked, for the day of evil. Okay? You need to understand that the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai sent forth his prophets one last time, right? Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, right? How does he hide himself? In the Holy Scriptures. Like it says in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the words of truth. Same thing in Isaiah 16 and 34. Or 34 and 16. So like you. Alright? Alrighty. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. That is how a prudent man becomes prudent and foreseeth the evil. Because the Holy Scriptures, through his servants the prophets, also with a combination of the two, will allow you to apply the Holy Scriptures as far as prophecy to what's actually happening in real life in real time. And then you'll be able to understand what's really going on. Okay? That's what's eating at you. That's the reason why you can't sleep at night. It's the reason why you're having these fucking nightmares. You refuse to pick up the Bible and read it, idiot. And it's not our fault. We did our best. But you won't listen to common sense and reason. The Lord himself says, come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. He says that. Okay, let's get it. Okay. Let us reason together. Okay. Isaiah 1 and 18. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. What color is wool? White as snow. Whose hair texture do you know is white as snow? The one you ignorantly call Jeebus crossed. That image that you go to church and worship, and that name that you call, is applied to an Edomite Caucasian troglodyte who happens to be 5% Neanderthal by genetic structure, DNA. Okay? He's part caveman. And you worshiping the image of a goddamn caveman with long flowing hair like a bitch. I don't understand why you would do that. Why would you do that to your own soul? Are you really that stupid? Really? If you seek out of the book of the Lord and read for yourself, you'll find out through faith, the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen, that what these Edomite Caucasian troglodytes have been trying to tell you is a lie. And you'll see right through everything, man. Like it says in Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7, the veil that has been spread over all nations and the covering cast over all people is being lifted. The covering cast and the veil is the lie of supersessionism and replacement theology, where they replace the Israelites. The Most High says in Psalms 96 that he would never cast off his people forever. He would never do that. He's just pissed off for a little while. Okay? But now he's bringing back his people. He's waking his people up. The Great Awakening is these Edomites finding out the fact that they are not God's people. And he hates them. Okay? I mean, look at it this way. A HANTA-VIRUS? Get the fuck out of here. Hanta in Hungarian means a lie or mistruth. That's what it means. Fucking go look for yourself. You think I'm lying to you. Do like the Bereans did Paul the Apostle, to check behind him to see if his words were true before they decided to follow him. You scared? Damn, people, you need to wake the fuck up, man, because you are running out of time and the doors of mercy are about to close. Once these devils implement this martial law through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, you're fucked. You're stuck wherever the Most High puts you. So if you're stuck out there looking for help and can't find it, there's nothing you can do, because that's going to bring about the famine of the word. They're going to use gradualism against you. These superlatives and these big words that I'm using, you need to Google them. Okay? So this way you'll understand what they mean. Don't just let people talk over your head. Use your brain for something other than a fucking hat rack. Okay, I did. Wow, I'm glad I done it, actually. Yep. Anyway, Isaiah 1 and 18. Come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. See? Told you said it, not me. Right? A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Do not be simple-minded concerning your eternal salvation. Okay? These devils are all about control and compliance. If you do not want to comply, let me ask you something. Why do you think that they're buying up all these buildings, these warehouses all over the United States to turn them into makeshift FEMA camps and detention facilities for ICE to put your ass in, and where they can put up a room of smart guillotine, right? They have a doctor and a nurse over to the side to scoop out your body parts and to separate them in bags and put them on ice, right? And ship them to different parts of the world and throw your body to be into an incinerator for compost, to put into the ground, shipping over into the ground for the new topsoil, right? For Bill Gates' land that he bought. You know, Bill Gates, right, who owns Microsoft LLC, right? He owns Microsoft LLC, and he owns 2/3 of farmland in America now. Didn't know that, did you? Okay? Go and see if I'm lying. Type it in. Okay? He owns 2/3 of land in America. If it's farmland, more than likely he owns the shit. He's actually paying people $2,500 an hour to destroy their own farmland. He's paying people. The government is actually paying these individuals to destroy their own farms. They got watermelon, they got squash, they got corn, they got all of that shit out there rotting deliberately and on purpose to bring about the famine. Okay? Like it says, there will be famines and pestilences, like it says in Matthew chapter 24. But all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? See? They're doing this shit deliberately on purpose. They're using the Holy Scriptures as a instruction booklet to bring about the end of the world and to bring about the advent of Yahweh Shai. Okay? To prove once and all, we are gods because we controlled you. We controlled your planet. We did this. We did that. These motherfuckers are insane. Okay? That's the reason why they're purchasing all these warehouses to put your ass in it. 10, 15, 20,000 people at a time. Okay? Depending on the size of the warehouse. The bigger the warehouse, the more people they can put in it for extermination. Okay? This is what they want, man. Okay? And the only way they can do that is to exercise fear and dominance by fear-mongering. HANTA-VIRUS death toll. Everybody keeps telling you they're doing the same thing they did during the COVID Uno Nueve back in 2019. Same shit. They're doing the same thing, man. They said at first it wasn't contagious. Dr. Fauci got on front of the entire world along with that woman and Albert Bueller, whatever his goddamn name is, the CEO of Pfizer, was talking about don't worry about it. You know, and then Bill Gates and Melinda Gates get on front of the TV and tell the entire world that blacks and Latinos, since they have underlying health conditions, blacks and Latinos need to take it first. Right? Come on now. They're trying to destroy us because they know that we are the children of the Most High God in heaven, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And not only that, but they need or try to destroy us by trying to win back their birthright. Let me show you something. Jeremiah chapter 31. Right? Verse 31. Right? Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. Remember I said that the Most High had written up a bill of divorcement from his people. That's the reason why he allowed these devils to come in like wild beasts and fowls of the air to devour and to destroy us. You understand now? But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. Okay? Your inward part is your heart. Your heart, lob, is your mind. Okay? So the Most High is going to put the law, 613 law, in your mind. Okay? It would be impossible for the Israelites to go off. Sin and iniquity is the kryptonite of God's chosen people. Without sin and iniquity in the way, and we are holy, obeying his law, statutes, and commandments, that allows us to fly. We never get sick. We step over the boundary of death into immortality. Okay? We become extraterrestrial. This extraterrestrial means that we'll have that extra part is we have spiritual power. That's the reason why Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 19 through 26 tells us that the Most High with us, his chosen people, he will use us as his battle axe and weapons of war. So at a certain time, at a certain date, at a certain month, at a certain year, the Most High is going to implement spiritual power and spread his spiritual power just like he spread his Holy Spirit upon all flesh, where the old men dream dreams, young men see visions, and the young women prophesy, and on the servants and handmaids he also poured out his Spirit. His servants and his handmaids are the elect 1/3 of the house of Israel. Everybody else is just 2/3 that are going to be cut off, along with Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations. Okay? You see what I mean? So a lot of people needs to understand that, but then they won't get it. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no one, every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me. For they all shall know me. For they shall all know me. They, who? His people. The Israelites, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. Psalms 148, verse 14. Right? His saints. From the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Now remember, in 1956, these devils actually tried to blow up the fucking moon using a thermonuclear device. They tried to fly it out into space, to blow it up, to take a huge chunk off of it, to try to change the narrative. Okay, a spaceship came in, or one of the chariots of the Lord came in from the side and hit it twice with a laser beam, and it just hurtled out in outer space, deactivated. Okay? That's what happened. It's recorded history. It's too late. The individuals that saw it and oversaw that project were instructed by the United States government to never breathe a word of this. Well, after they retired from the United States government, they started talking. They're no longer alive. Okay? Anyway, this is my point, being that these devils are trying to win back their birthright. That's all it is. Remember, it always goes back to the birthright. Jacob and Esau. Esau sold his birthright for one morsel of meat, as it is written in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For as ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. By whom? The Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Like it says in Numbers chapter 30, verse 2. A man gives his word, he has to uphold his word. And if he doesn't, the Most High does it for him. So now, even though he's a liar and tried to go back on his word, the Most High makes him uphold it. That's the reason why. Isaac, the son of promise, whom, if you can receive it, was Yahweh Shai in the reincarnation, gave Esau a separate blessing from the blessing that he was supposed to have. He would have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven from above, and to live by the sword. The sword comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes now. It comes in knives, it comes in weapons, it comes in viruses, it comes in, you guessed it, VACCINES. right? You know, the COVID, uno vuelve, VACCINES, INE, whatever, right? You know how many people are still dying from taking the jab, taking the bullshit from back then? You know, you think they don't have a super, some kind of brand new, now they said there was no cure for the COVID, right? 19. There was no cure, right? Then they suddenly came up with a goddamn vaccine out of the clear blue sky. They're going to do the same thing this time. Only this time it's 10 times more volatile to the immune system. They're just going to shoot you full of full-blown AIDS virus, autoimmune deficiency. That way, as soon as you catch a common cold, you're going to die. That's the plan. Okay? And call it a goddamn vaccine. It's going to help you. Yeah, it's going to help you go into the spirit realm. Okay? Last time, they mixed it up with a lot of other shit. Okay? And started coagulating the veins and arteries in their body. You know, people at the coroner's office were tripping because after they did the autopsy, they opened them up and it's like, what the hell is this? And they pull out of people's veins, out of their body. Right? What is all this stuff? Ugh, what is that? Okay? Real shit. This is already proven in history. It's too late. And now they've come up with something even worse. Okay? Anyway. But, like I said before, it always goes back to the birthright, doesn't it? Birthright. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me forever. This is my point. Thus saith the Lord of heaven, the Lord. If heaven above can be measured, right? And they made satellites go travel hurtling out in outer space. Remember Voyager 1 back in the 1950s? Right? Sputnik. They've been trying to measure outer space. How far does it go? Okay? In the 1950s, they did this. Come on now. That's part of the goddamn space race to who's going to get to the moon first, remember? JFK was alive. LBJ was alive. What's his name? Damn. Not Woodrow Wilson. The other cat. Damn, I forgot his name. But anyway. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, the foundations of the earth they're still trying to search out beneath, right? In the Mariana Trench. They can't get past the immense pressure that the water pushes all metals into that of a beer can. Crunch. Solid steel girders. Crunch. You know, just crunch it together like... Oh! Hush, boy. So that's basically what's going on. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. Right? See? So this is what they're trying to do, is win back their birthright. Like I said in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For as ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it out carefully with tears. And this is his way of seeking out carefully with tears. Right? If the heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath. And they can't do either one. Okay? Anyway. Now, let's get back to more proof that this is what they're trying to do. Okay?
Mostly, yes, it is spread from rodents, but there have been these relatively rare cases of human-to-human transmission of this virus known as the Andes virus.
What are the symptoms?
Well, the virus can cause two really severe illnesses. The first is called HANTA-VIRUS pulmonary syndrome, and it often starts with sort of flu-like symptoms, really. You can get fatigue, fever, muscle aches, then followed by headaches, dizziness, chills, upset stomachs. But then, this is where...
Okay, kind of sounds like the COVID-19, right? We found out that through diligent research, it's the goddamn common cold. What are you talking about? Right?
it starts to get very serious. You get respiratory symptoms develop. So, for example, breathlessness. And the mortality rate associated with this type of illness is around 38%. So more than a third of the people, according to the Center for Disease Control in the United States, will die if they get that type of the virus. The second illness is called hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, and this is even more severe and primarily affects the kidneys. So later symptoms can include low blood pressure, internal bleeding, and also acute kidney failure. The mortality rate for this version is 50%, so half the people who get it are likely to die.
Who should be more worried? Is it more dangerous if an old person catches it?
Well, obviously, if you're older or frail, or even if you have underlying health conditions, any sort of serious infection like this could have devastating consequences. So,
now, didn't they just say Bill Gates and Melinda Gates said that those individuals with underlying health conditions, such as the blacks and Latinos in the low-income neighborhoods, should get the vaccine first? They said that on a newscast in 2019-2020. Okay, I saw it. As a matter of fact, I got a copy of it on this phone or on this device. I'm gonna probably have to put this video back up and make a different version of it and come in at a different angle, just to show you that these people are doing the same whole thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it worked so beautifully the first time as a test run, shutting down the entire world and taking more and more of the people's their rights. Okay, forcing you to go to work, raising prices on everything. Okay, they're doing this shit deliberately on purpose, man. It's all about compliance and control. Okay, I'm just telling you. And like now, you notice if you're old, if you're elderly, that's what they said at first, back in about the COVID-19, right? And then they said under those with underlying health conditions, with blacks and Latinos, right? They said the same shit. Come on, man. Come on, man. Really? Okay. Let's go into a different video.
Are you familiar with the hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it? What was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare or a virus.
What killed those men?
What killed them, I won't even write about. We have no context for what killed those men, or any appreciation of the scale at which it'll be unleashed in the future.
A plague?
The plague to end all plagues, Agent Mulder. A silent weapon for a quiet war. The systematic release of an indiscriminate organism, for which the men who will bring it on still have no cure. They've been working on this for 50 years. While the rest of the world have been fighting gooks and commies, these men have been secretly negotiating a planned Armageddon.
Negotiating with whom?
I think you know.
Okay? What the fuck? Now, X-Files haven't been on fucking TV for over 25, damn near 30 years. Right? Right? What the fuck? I guess common sense doesn't quite work. Does it? Oh well. Let's go into another biblical scripture. Okay. Alright. Let's go into another biblical scripture. Alright. It's like, yeah, let me go into... Yep, because this is what they want to do, man. Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. And I saw one of its heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. Right? Everybody believes in supersessionism replacement theology, right? Yeah, everybody can be a Christian. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him? See? So it's all about compliance, control, and fear. See? And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Right? So power was given unto Nero 47 to speak great things and blasphemies. Oh, America's going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to be excellent. This is going to be... How does he say? Oh, everything's going to be fine. Everything's great. Everything, don't worry. I'm going to make Iran glow in the middle of the night if they don't open the Straits of Hormuz. Don't worry. We're going to take care of it and make sure it gets open, okay? Right? Didn't he just say some shit like that? Okay, is that not blasphemy? That's murder, man. That's genocide on a global scale, motherfucker. Look, come on, man. How many times do these people have to be threatened? Okay? And then Vladimir Putin is talking about he's got nuclear weapons. The Satan II missile. Ooh, I forgot about that one. Let's go get that one. Let's go back. Let's go back. Was it further? Yep. Boom.
So you want to start a business. You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but you don't.
Moscow's claiming success with the first test of its new Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile after the launch off Russia's Pacific coast. President Putin saying the weapon, which is capable of carrying a nuclear load, will make the Kremlin's enemies think twice.
Dear comrades, I congratulate you on the successful launch of the Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile. This truly unique weapon will strengthen the combat potential of our armed forces, reliably ensure Russia's security from external threats, and will make think twice those who, in the heart of frenzied, aggressive rhetoric, try to threaten our country.
That was a message directly to Agent Orange. Okay? Trust me. That was a message directly to Agent Orange, man. Alright, hold on. Let me go get that other one. Boom.
In the late 1960s, the Soviet Union jumped ahead of the United States' first strike capability in a grand way. The latest modern version of the R-36 intercontinental ballistic missile, also known as SSAT by NATO, could hit anywhere in the United States, with at least 10 warheads consisting of 18 to 25 megaton of nukes. Before we reveal the secrets of the most feared nuclear missile, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any latest update in the military world. This new Russian missile was capable of destroying the American LGM-30 Minuteman III missiles before they ever left their silos. As time went on, more advanced designs only increased its nuclear payload. Eventually, it carried more power than anything in the U.S. arsenal. From the moment its existence was uncovered, NATO forces nicknamed the weapon the Satan missile. The R-36 is a family of modern warfare missiles. The original, which was named SS-9 by NATO, was the USSR's second intercontinental ballistic missile. Its 1966 design allowed it to be fired into space, and it could stay in orbit around the Earth for an indefinite period of time. This development led to Article 4 of the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, which prohibits nuclear missiles and other weapons of mass destruction from remaining in Earth's orbit. Although the outer space...
Okay, now why in the fuck were they having an outer space treaty unless they are planning on fighting against the Son of the Most High God? Let's go into, what was that? Is that it? Yep. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. So you see, it's already prophesied that these devils are going to fight against the Son of God. Okay? They're going to fight against the angels of the Lord and lose. Badly, I might add. Okay? And prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. First heaven, the sky above. Second heaven, outer space. Third heaven is the place where the Most High dwells, and that's not even in this dimension. Okay? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All these Edomites, they're all the same people, okay? They're just because they just live on different continents and speak different languages. But at the end of their characteristics are the same. They are thieves and murderous thugs, rapists. Like it says in John chapter 10, verse 10, the thief cometh not before to steal, kill, and to destroy. Right? Which deceiveth the whole world. Deceive the whole world that he's unstoppable, invincible. Nobody can stand up against him. Deceive the whole world saying that they are Moses, they're the angels, they're Jeebus crossed, right? They're whoever. All of the different prophets of the Bible. David, you know, you had Richard Gere playing David, right? You had the one cat playing King Solomon. You had Charlton Heston playing Moses. You had Victor Mature playing Samson. You had Yul Brynner playing Pharaoh. You know, you had, I mean, you know, what the fuck, man? So they changed the entire everything to deceive the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right? His angels are his ministers, right? Ministers are agents of destruction. Right? So he has individuals that work for him, right? And these avatars are these Edomite Caucasians, man. All they know how to do is spread death and hell. And they can't be satisfied, like it says in the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. They push out the conditions of hell and of death, and they cannot be satisfied. Okay? It can't be done. Okay? Like I said before, there was war in heaven. So these devils got outer space treaties now in outer space to ensure that they don't accidentally kill each other. Because they're all fighting for one thing. Like Ronald Reagan had said. Let me see if I can find that video right quick. Alright. Let me see if I can find the video. Let's see. Ronald Reagan speech on aliens at the UN. Alien threat, right? Check this out.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Now, that alien force that they're talking about are the Israelites. That's the alien force that live among these goddamn devils that have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had stated that the children of Israel should number as the sands of the sea, of which cannot be measured nor numbered. Okay, if that's the case, and they've been intermingling their seed with the heathen nations, then they look like the heathen nations, only their bloodlines go back to their fathers, who are Israelites of the 12 tribes. Remember, Jacob, whose name was surnamed Israel by the Most High God himself, right? Because he came down here and visited him on his way back from Padanaram, right? Like it says in Genesis chapter 35, verse 9, changed his name. God did that. Oh well, face to face. Now, Jacob at that time, he had been married to 2 women who were sisters, and they both had a handmaid. So all of these different women got pregnant by this man and had 12 sons now. Okay? That's history. It's a fact. Oh well. Nothing you can do about it. Okay? But the alien threat that is already amongst these Edomite devils that they feel so threatened by are us, the Israelites. They are threatened with the fact that we're waking up to the fact that we're God's chosen people. And we're starting to call upon the true name of the Most High, which is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is there and in the foundations of water. These motherfuckers are scared to death, man. They've been working together to keep us oppressed and keep their foot on our neck until they couldn't do it anymore. So now they have to try to do what? Get rid of us in order to win back their birthright by default. Remember, it always goes back to the birthright with these goddamn Edomite devils. It is very simple with these animals. Okay? Because they're animals, man. 5% of their DNA is a goddamn Neanderthal. Okay? If you go, what is it, that DNA thing that they got, that DNA family thing, you can go get your DNA checked. 5% of their DNA is Neanderthal. Neanderthal are cave dwellers, cave men, right? We all know what a goddamn caveman looks like. Right? That's who they are, man. They try to blame that shit. Everything that's bad and evil and wicked about these Edomite Caucasian troglodytes, they push on us and make the world believe it. That's how they deceive the whole world. Okay? Anyway, just wanted to let you know that's what was going on. This HANTA-VIRUS is full of shit. The Most High may be using it. You know, he might be using it, okay, to bring...
Action like this could have devastating consequences. So it's pretty serious, however old or young you are.
How do you test for it?
So there are currently some cases that have been confirmed and some that are still suspected, but the way you test for it is what's called a PCR test. Now, people may remember these from the COVID pandemic when you might have a swab inside your cheek or up your nose. What it is a molecular biology technique that can quickly amplify or copy specific DNA segments, and that can create millions or even billions of copies from a very, very minute sample. And
okay, now, what if on that Q-tip, they're giving you the antivirus? Okay? Now, did you notice?
That have been confirmed and some that are still suspected, but the way you test for it is what's called a PCR test. Now, people may remember...
Who do you see on the screen that they're aiming this HANTA-VIRUS at? Who do you see on the screen when they're sticking this swab in the mouth of? These are the individuals that they believe are the alien threat that they're trying to get rid of. So now they're going to give you the virus to see if your immune system can fight against it. And it takes 8 weeks before it until it metastasizes. And once it does that, it spreads throughout your immune system, breaking it down. But it takes the same amount of time for an acquired immune deficiency virus introduced into your system through either saliva or through sexual organs, or directly put in by a syringe into your bloodstream. It usually takes 8 weeks before it goes full blown and you die. Okay. We've been doing research on your evil, wicked ways, Edomite. We're on to your bullshit. Okay? It's not going to go well this time. That's the reason why I started off the biblical scriptures with Luke 19 and 43 and 44. They're going to lay you even with the ground. Okay? They're going to come in with ice forces. Remember, ice has been, they've infused, what, 50, 60 billion dollars into ice? Everybody's making 7 figures with a gun on their hip. All they got to do is point it in your direction, blow your brains out, and fabricate a lie and say that you tried to resist arrest. You see, they shot a woman in the fucking face, point blank range, in front of the entire world, and said that she resisted arrest. Right? That guy got 2 weeks off with a vacation, and he's back to work. You could Google it yourself. Okay? So, my point being is that they're trying to do it again. Alrighty? Watch out. Be circumspect. Okay? Let's get a biblical scripture. Slovakia. Onion, huh? Right? First Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth to rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.